UDA National Youth Congress. Karibu sana and good morning.
Asante.
It is unfortunate that we have to talk about this issue today, but it is something that's prevailing. On social media, you may have come across a few tribal exchanges. And these are basically young people. Yet we thought that the younger generation, the Gen Zs, were tribeless, and they did not look at Kenya's politics or even development from those lenses. But we are seeing that whatever the political class wants to play out in as far as tribal contestations is what even the younger generation are picking up slowly on. Do you see a real risk that the Gen Zs and the younger voters may be drawn to, unfortunately so, to tribal debates?
Thank you so much, Fred. First of all, let me convey my condolences to the family of the late Raila Amolo Odinga. And first of all, let me start by saying this. When the Gen Zs were demonstrating last year, 2024, on matters to do with the finance bill, one of the issues that came out was they are leaderless. And if you're a leaderless, then it means whoever comes as your leader or whatever that exists can give you direction on exactly what to enshrine yourself with. And that's now the tribalism. If Gen Z could have their leaders who are very liberal in terms of understanding the scope and the thematic areas of issues that they may concern the young people, I think that was the healing moment for this country. But if you are formless, leaderless, partyless, and then the leaders who are already in the government positions are the ones promoting this tribalism, then it means it's very easier to fall into that trap where people are leading you based on the tribal lines. And that is something that we need to ask ourselves, the young people. What kind of the leaders that we want from our generation that we need to have so that they can steer us forward and give us direction which goes beyond the tribal line and regional arrogance. So that is something that it must be worked by the young people. And that can only be achieved if we can have the right ideologies. Right. And the ideologies that promote inclusivity, unity, social justice, and respect for the Constitution. So when the young people are being drawn into tribalism, remember, you come from a certain region because you didn't choose to be there. That's why maybe your mother or your father were born, or maybe they choose to stay there because of the situation that favors them. But again, once you go to school, what are you learning? Because one of the things that I feel is something that puts Kenya a little bit behind is the way that we apprehend and make students and the pupils, when they're still at the forming age, to understand the issues that are coming beyond them when they come over the right age. And this is where now our studies should be looked into. When a kid is being developed from the young age, what exactly are we telling that kid? From the nursery, junior secondary, are we telling the kid that, are you a Kenyan? Or are you a Nandi? Are you a Kalenjin? Are you a Kikuyu? These are things that it should be embraced as still for the young age. But if that the leaders, the teachers, the vice chancellors are still in tribal lines, the best case study is by our institutions. All regional universities, you can see their vice chancellors. Who are they? They come from the same community. So this is something that already it is inherent. So to overcome that, we need to look into competence, the clarity of the mind. How do a person wish to lead the country? And these are the things that's going to liberate us from these tribal cocoons things and propaganda.
Yet the young people are not the ones in control right now. These leaders already are in place. Those who select vice chancellors of universities, they are already in place. The political leadership is already in place. The younger Kenyans are not in control. Are we saying that simply because they're not in control of any of this, they will simply fall into the conversations that the leadership decide, whether tribal or otherwise?
Thank you so much, Fred. What I just want to tell you is the millennials and the Gen Zs, they are the majority of people right now in Kenya. Actually, they are 70%. And unfortunately, they are falling into the divide and rule game of politicians that the politicians are using to divide them. Because the last year when we had the Gen Z protests, they were saying they were leaderless and they were tribeless. But right now, I can see people spewing venom against each other. I can see young people are abusing each other from the mountain, from the lake. There's a lot of discord that has been planted by these leaders, by these tribal leaders. And I can say, honestly, right now, I feel like the young people are no longer in control. Because when we had the control, or when we had the power to control what is happening in the country, we said we were leaderless. So there was nobody to speak for us, what we wanted. And that is why you see that away from the finance bill, a little was done on what the Gen Zs were demanding, because they were demanding accountability. And this is something that is not there. We are not seeing. They are demanding accountability and transparency, which is not yet done by the political class, because I am seeing, we are still seeing this mismanagement of public funds. And I feel like the young people are no longer in control. And soon, or even right now, they are already going back to their tribal cocoons. Again, you see there's the use of social media, and you see this political class, they know if we are going to use the social media, okay, when we say something, the social media is there, and this information will reach all the young people. So these people, the political class, they're actually using this social media to our disadvantage, the young people. And I feel like the young people have already fallen into the trap, and that is why we are seeing a lot of disagreements online. And I just want to add to the past conversation where we are asking why there's a lot of tribal exchanges between the young people. I also feel like it's the system. The system has made us to believe that if you are not from a certain tribe, you will not get something. Mm-hmm. And these systems are the ones that have really made us believe in that. And then there's history. You see, when you look at history, and you see, they always say, if you want to know where you're coming from or where you're going, you look at your history. And when I'm looking at the history of this country, I am looking at people. I am looking at a people who are divided along their tribal lines. And I feel like these young people are just learning from their from their history. And if we cannot change history by ourselves, there's nothing we can do about it.
What are the opportunities to actually change the conversation for the young people, Jared? Because